You sleep for 7, maybe 8 hours. Your alarm goes off. You open your eyes, and somehow you're already tired. Not just physically, but deeply exhausted in a way that rest doesn't seem to fix. And the strange part is, this is happening to millions of people at the same time. Across different countries, different jobs, different lifestyles, people are all asking the same question without realizing it. Why am I always tired? There was a time when tiredness made sense. People worked physically demanding jobs, spent hours moving, building, farming, surviving. At the end of the day, exhaustion came from effort. It was clear, predictable, and even satisfying. You worked hard, so you felt tired. But something has changed. Today, many people feel tired even when their lives are physically easier than ever before. Offices are air-conditioned, machines do most of the heavy work, food is delivered, transportation is effortless. And yet, instead of feeling more energetic, many people feel the opposite. The modern world didn't remove effort, it changed its shape. Now the exhaustion is invisible. It doesn't come from lifting heavy objects. It comes from something harder to notice. Constant stimulation, constant pressure, and constant mental noise. And because we can't see it, we often ignore it. We tell ourselves we're just bad sleepers or not disciplined enough. But that explanation doesn't fully make sense when almost everyone around us is feeling the same thing. So what's really draining modern life? One of the biggest misunderstandings about tiredness is the idea that sleep alone fixes it. Sleep is essential, but sleep doesn't repair everything. The human brain today is doing something it was never designed to do, processing endless streams of information every second of every day. Messages, notifications, videos, news, opinions, ads, comparisons, updates. Even when you are resting, your brain is often still partially on, waiting for the next interruption. Think about it. How often do you actually experience silence anymore? Not just quiet surroundings, but real mental silence. Most people wake up and immediately reach for their phone. Before the day even starts, the brain is already reacting. Messages to respond to, updates to check, information to process. There is no gradual start. The mind is thrown directly into stimulation, and this continues all day. Even rest has changed. We no longer just sit and think or let our minds wander. We scroll, we consume, we switch from one piece of content to another without pause. It feels relaxing, but the brain is still working, processing faces, sounds, emotions, comparisons, and decisions at high speed. This creates a hidden form of fatigue, mental overload. Unlike physical tiredness, mental fatigue doesn't always feel like exhaustion. It feels like distraction, irritability, lack of motivation, or emotional numbness. You don't always feel sleepy, you just feel drained. And the more you try to fix it with stimulation, coffee, scrolling, entertainment, the more it quietly continues. There are a few powerful forces behind this modern exhaustion, and most people experience all of them at once without realizing it. First, attention fragmentation. The human brain was designed to focus deeply on one thing at a time for survival, tracking movement, solving problems, making decisions. Today, attention is constantly split. You answer a message, then switch to a video, then check another notification, then return to work, then get interrupted again. Each switch may seem small, but it costs mental energy every time. Second, emotional overload. Even if you are not directly involved in global events, you are exposed to thousands of emotional signals every week. People celebrating, arguing, suffering, succeeding, failing, all visible through screens. Your brain processes these signals as if they matter to your social environment, even when they don't directly affect your life. Third, lack of true recovery. Rest is not just sleep. Real recovery also requires mental distance, periods where your brain is not processing constant input. But today, even in bed, many people are still watching screens. Even during meals, during breaks, during free time, the mind rarely gets complete silence. And finally, decision fatigue. Modern life requires thousands of micro decisions every day. What to watch, what to reply, what to eat, what to buy, what to click, what to ignore. Each decision seems small, but together they slowly drain mental energy like a hidden battery leak. The result of all of this is a strange paradox. Life has become physically easier but mentally heavier. This is why someone can sleep for 8 hours and still wake up tired. The body may have rested, but the mind never fully powered down. But here is the part most people miss. The goal is not to eliminate modern life. Technology, information, and connection are not the enemy. The real issue is the absence of boundaries between stimulation and rest. The brain doesn't need a simpler world. It needs moments where nothing is demanding its attention. Because tiredness is not just a sleep problem, it is a signal that something is constantly asking for your attention without giving your mind space to recover. And once you see that clearly, the pattern becomes obvious everywhere. The phone is not just a tool. The notifications are not just messages. The scrolling is not just entertainment. Together, they form a system that rarely stops asking your brain to stay alert. Maybe the reason so many people feel tired all the time is not because they are doing too much, but because they never fully stop doing anything. And if that's true, then the solution is not always more sleep, more caffeine, or more motivation. It might be something much simpler and much harder, giving the mind permission to be still again. Because in a world that never stops talking, silence has become the rarest form of rest.